Alright, welcome back to the workshop, Handyman. We are having a little trouble with my Hayward salt system. I've put out a video before on this one. I am not a pool technician by no means. I am a handyman and I work on whatever happens to fail, and I try it myself and see if I can figure stuff out, and then I call the professionals if I fail. We've got the new cell in there last a couple of years ago, I think it was. I can probably try to remember. I'll do something with that. But anyways, I come over here and it's not generating anything. I noticed my chlorine levels were quite low and I'm getting a no flow. So that means if it doesn't have any flow, it doesn't generate and your chlorine just goes to nothing. Now that flow is determined on my particular system, in this Hayward system. It's got a flow switch that comes in the line right after your cell, and it should have that flow, which this one here I've been fooling with a little bit. There is an arrow on that. Make sure that it goes in the direction of the flow going out, and that will, otherwise you won't ever close that switch. Your arrow does have to be facing the right direction. Make sure of that. But for right now, we're not getting flow, and I think the flow switch is what the problem was. And so I have done a pretty simple task here. We simply take this off. I've already had it. Some of these will have a little screw here. I've already taken that loose. We pull this out. I'll set that off to the side. Now the way that flow switch is hooked in here in the bottom of this, when you see it, there's a little on the back of it. You take that and you unclip it, and that looks just like a regular old landline phone jack. And you can see that there's two pins here. And so that's probably what I'm guessing was a just a switch. So you're going to have one wire going in, one wire coming back, putting it into this board, which would make it work. So if that's all it's doing is basically shorting out those two, I'm going to test it by simply taking a wire, a small piece of wire. It's very small, and I noticed those center two, and I'm just going to try to touch those and make that switch up and see if I can just kind of short that thing out. I know if I get a small enough piece I can, because I've done it. But anyways, this one here might be a little big. I used a little piece of paper clip the other day here when there we go. You touch those two together, it'll start blinking, and then after a minute or two it should go out and you should start generating. And this takes, normal startup, it'll do this also. And as you see, it went out, so it's indicating. So that tells me that that switch is definitely bad. So we're going to go ahead and replace that switch. So we'll go ahead and take that back off of there. And it goes back to no flow, so we know that's doing what it's supposed to do. So we'll go ahead. I've ordered a switch, and this switch, it comes in. This is what it would look like as I bring it in. It's raining out there. I hope you don't pick up too much of that. Same thing, I don't know. Looks like it should do. Let's see, what part number did I order here? I don't know if you can read that all right. I'll try to leave a little link on that one also. But it comes with the flow switch, and it comes with a little bit of Teflon tape. And the only other thing you'll need for this is really a wrench. So what we'll need to do is shut all this system down. And we'll go ahead on mine, just shut the pump off. Let's see here. For mine, I've got a variable speed pump, so we'll go ahead and hit the stop button on that. I also want to kind of isolate this as I go to work on it. So we're going to go ahead and I can close my two valves. That takes away both the bottom drain and the skimmer, and that kind of isolates the system in and blocks it in so it doesn't just flow out everywhere on us. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then from there we'll take a little wrench here and we can just take and unscrew this. And that looks pretty close to what I've taken out, so I think it'll work just fine. It's set up a little bit different. We do want to watch out on top of this one. It looks like there's a little arrow on it also. So you'll have the very small little arrow. I don't know how well you pick that up, but there's a small arrow there, and then you've got the double that. So we want to make sure when we get done that arrow is facing downstream from this. So we'll go ahead and put a little Teflon tape on here. And if you're putting on Teflon tape, of course, you know to make sure you thread that the right direction on there. And that would be as though you're threading it into something. So in this particular case, if you were threading this on, it would be in this direction. And you won't need a whole lot to do this because it's not under a lot of pressure or anything. So a couple of quick rolls around it, and that should do that. And we'll take that and just kind of squeeze it together, stick it down in the pipe, and we'll start tightening it up. And now, like I say, we'll have to find out which direction this arrow is going and make sure we can tighten it enough to get it there. That's almost, I got to go about a half a turn more. All right, there. That should do it. So we'll go ahead and let's undo this. And they wrap this up enough to really do it. There we go. And we'll just simply take this up here and plug it back up, and I'll worry about doing all the routing afterwards. Kind of take it in the direction I had the other one and tie it all in. Pretty much like that right there. And we'll take it up here and we'll plug this back in, just like the old one was taken out. And we'll go ahead and let's start this pump back up. And let's see. Oh, better valve it in a little bit or we won't get any flow. Okay, and as we see, I think you can see anyways, it's got the flashing light going on. We'll give that a little time and it went right straight into generator. So the new switch is working, it's registering flow, and we'll start making a little bit of chlorine again. So that's all there is to that. I don't know any other secrets that there could be to it. Like I say, I'm not a pool guy, I'm just a handyman, but that was a pretty easy fix, really. So I'll go ahead and reroute the cable and get it all tied back up and everything like it's supposed to be, and we'll call that a completed project. Hope that helps. If you get that little light on and can't do anything else, that should take care of you. So thanks a bunch, and we'll check with you on the next project. And I appreciate it. If you like the video, please hit that like, share, subscribe, all that other good stuff. It sure does help my algorithms and gets me out there to more people. So thanks a bunch. Talk to you in the next one.